Hi, this is Ken Graham again, the director of the National Hurricane Center. We're still live here in Lakeland, Florida, and as promised, we were in the cockpit of the Noaa plane learning about other aspects of what Noaa does for a living, and we got some great guests here today. We got Brian LaMarre. He's the meteorologist-in-charge at the National Weather Service here in Tampa. You know, we've met some of the local offices along the way. Brian, you do a little more than just the local office. You have a special role in Noaa. Can you explain what you do?
Yeah, thanks, Ken. It's actually called the Noaa Gulf of Mexico Regional Collaboration Team, and it's really an opportunity for all of Noaa across the Gulf of Mexico to come together, understand what resources are available, what assets could possibly help other parts of Noaa, and actually bringing Noaa together to accomplish a mission across the Gulf of Mexico.
You know, being together like that, why is it so important that we're all together?
I think we can look back just to the hurricane season of last year, 2017. We had Hurricane Harvey, Hurricane Maria, Hurricane Irma, and we had Hurricane Nate. And a lot of them made impacts in the Gulf of Mexico. And really understanding how Noaa can work better together is really an opportunity to save lives. So we see how NOS provides water level information, National Data Buoy Center. We look at fisheries and see how water waves actually impact them. And look at the National Weather Service and see how all the information gets sent out. That is a network of opportunity to ensure that lives are protected.
Now, you heard that. So you talk about the water, you talk about the oceans, all the different aspects of what Noaa does. And we, of course, we know about the hurricanes, we know about the forecasting and the warnings, but we talk about satellites. And there's another part that we don't normally talk about, and that's navigation. We're so lucky to have Tim Osborn here with Noaa's Coast Survey. The National Ocean Service is a big part of our team at the oceans. But here's an aspect of Noaa most people don't know. Tim, tell us what you do.
One of the jobs we have in terms of responding to hurricanes is reopening the ports like here in Florida. Brian just talked about the impacts that we've seen last year. People don't realize that the majority of all the fuels that cars in Florida consume every day has to be brought in by ports, by shipping to the terminals. And so working closely with you and the National Weather Service, the Hurricane Center, and with our ports and navigation groups, all the things we wear, we eat, we consume, we're building our roads with, we're building our homes with, are coming in by ships through the ports like in Florida. And so working together as a real team to recover and respond to these hurricanes through the navigation, through the ports and the waterways is really a key part to really making sure we truly respond to these storms.
Yeah, so that's something we don't normally think about with Noaa. Tell us one story real quick, some memorable experience with a situation following a hurricane when it was particularly maybe difficult and a big role that Noaa had getting the port open.
I would say one of the most difficult we had last year was Port Aransas. We walked into an area that had been hit by a Category 4 storm. They have an enormous amount of shipping going in and out of the port with energy, fuel, and crude oil, and you're working in a really devastated area that you had to support pretty much by bringing everything in and working independently. But to say that communities welcome us is an understatement. When we talk about forecasting through the Hurricane Center and the National Weather Service, when we're talking about us showing up to help reopen the ports and to get shipping and commerce and relief supplies back into the areas, just like we did with Hurricane Katrina with the Port of New Orleans, the amount of outreach and the amount of commitment we make back in terms of that receptivity and that enormous amount of support we're getting is something we don't stop until the job is complete.
And it's absolutely amazing. So you see that, Tim, thank you so much for what you all do at Coast Survey. Brian's more than just the forecast office, it's looking at all of Noaa, so appreciate what you guys do. So you're getting a better picture of all this Noaa activity. It's incredible. Now because we're live, we're going to try something different. Dennis, you're going to follow me? We're going to talk to the local emergency manager down here from Polk County, and we're going to be headed their way to talk about their big role, because we talk about our partners, but the emergency management is actually more of it's a friendship, because they can't do it without us and we can't do it without them. So it's a big partnership here. So we're going to come over here and talk to Polk County Emergency Management, and thank you so much for being here and hosting this big event. Can you tell us your name and what you do?
Yeah, Bill Abernathy, Polk County Emergency Management. I'm the Emergency Operations Center Coordinator. And we come to join in this event. The more people that know, the better off we are here in the beautiful state of Florida.
Now, the big question we always have is, this is all about preparedness. How's the county getting ready for hurricane season?
Well, we started earlier in the season planning, training, and exercises. We run a lot of exercises with all the municipalities, with all the other agencies, but also we start bringing in some of the class that the newer ones that came in who'd never experienced anything, what we call EOC 101. It gets them ready to hit the ground running, and we have the lean forward approach here in Polk County, and also all Central Florida. Thank goodness for Noaa, Tampa Bay Weather Ruskin. We have a very, very good relationship with them, and we communicate with them constantly.
I always say, we always talk about these partnerships, but to me, it's more than a partnership with emergency management. It's a true
They're our
friendship.
family.
It's family.
They're
it's a
our
friendship.
family. Yes,
and,
sir.
We got to keep talking about
We
that.
can reach out and touch them with anything that we have, whether it's inclement weather or no matter what it is, and they can give us some information, and we can disseminate it out to the masses. And we're very, very appreciative of Noaa, the National Hurricane Center. Also, they do a wonderful job down there, and I'm glad to see you on board, buddy.
I'll tell you what, thank you for the friendship. Look forward to working with you and
Absolutely.
being here today and hosting this great event.
Remember, there's no traffic jams on the extra mile.
There you go. Good advice right there, so appreciate that one right there. So once again, live here in Lakeland, Florida, I'm Ken Graham, Director of the National Hurricane Center.